All right, welcome in, race fans. This is Inter's Racing League. It is round 6 here. We're at Spa. We're in Tier 3, and I'm joined with one of the best comms in the game today. That's Scotty. He's the team principal of Red Bull. Welcome in, Scotty. It's Friday night, and we're here again for another race, mate.
Exactly right. Good to join you on a Friday night. Looking forward to this one. As we can see, it's just a little bit damp in Spa, as we very much know that weather can play a big part. Race is meant to be dry though, so these guys will be running dry setups. Fortunately, we've lost T7s already, and we've just lost Ethimon. As I pull up all the info now, where has he binned it? That is in pit lane, so possibly a couple of these drivers having quali bans. Just gonna have a quick look, but
Yeah, it might be that. It might be that. It could be maybe the Red Bull driver Salmon's just coming out. He may have hit pit wall. It's a bit of a tricky exit there and entry into pit lane here in Spa. So he may have just got caught up there in the wet conditions. You never know. But yeah, hopefully no more issues for those two drivers come race.
yeah, exactly right. I guess the big question is, can anyone stop Powers? I guess that's the big thing. Four race wins from 5 rounds. Are we thinking anybody can do anything about him, or is he just going to be unstoppable once again?
Well, I don't know. Spark can throw up a few different variables in the race. Powers, he's he's done very well in the first 5 rounds. There's no doubting that. But the Haas driver, Deadly Fuller, he's not far behind him at all. There's only a couple of points, I'm pretty sure, in it. I think it's 113 to 95. So there's not much in it. And I've got to say, like Powers, even though he's been pretty consistent, he can be prone to a spin every now and then. I guess everyone is, but if you throw that variable in, you can lose a few positions quite easily. We saw a driver with quality such as Bang last season, like leading races and spinning a few times and going from first to, position 15, something like that. So you never know what conditions and stuff like that can throw up. So Powers is looking strong, but as I said, we'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, exactly right. As Bridgie does go, P1 sets first lap time on the board, 53.5. But yeah, you're right, Deadly Bull. He's got 4 podiums out of his 5 race events so far, so he's been right up there. As Scob 55.3 in the Red Bull. So Gob he hasn't had the season that he's wanted. So hopefully he can get a good result tonight. Finished P8 last time out in Imola, so it was a good result for him, up 10 spots with qualifying. So if you can sort his qualifying out, he might be in for a good shout tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely his best result last weekend, as he said, a P8. That puts him up into P16 overall with 17 points in the Tier 3 standings. And I do know that he likes Spa. So if he can put it together, I reckon Gobby will get another top 10 finish. Hopefully we can see him push up a bit further because he's definitely one of the crowd favourites here, no doubt about that.
Yeah, exactly right. As we've got Swiss Lord coming through the bus stop chicane of 18 and 19, and he will come across the line. Can he match Bridgie? He can't. 54.220, so just behind Arch in P3. And as we can see, a lot of the guys in pit lane, and you can see IRL Scotty in the pits coming out on a set of soft tyres, so he's actually coming out now, and as we said just before, he nearly hits that pit wall. Thankfully he keeps his front wing, but it's definitely stopped raining, but I'm just thinking it's a little bit too early, and as I said, we've still got, as I have a quick look, 11 and a half minutes to the session, so I would have just probably waited until it just dried out a little bit more. This track evolution is just going to ramp up massively. It's going to be last man across the line, I reckon, and because it's such a long lap, you're looking at a minute 45 probably in these conditions, still on a dry tyre, so it's going to be finding that space, which obviously 7 kilometres, a lot of space out there. So it's just going to be last man on track, I reckon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's going to definitely play a factor towards the end. I'm on board with IRL Scotty, like you mentioned, on those softs, and the track it's still wet. It has stopped raining, but he's slipping around there, and I tell you, being the Ferrari team principal, it's definitely elevated my heart rate seeing him out there on soft tyres. He does live on the edge, Scotty. There's no doubt about it. He won't die wondering, and I like that about him. He's got a pretty good spirit about himself. So yeah, Arch actually looks like he's gone fastest overall in the AlphaTauri, 152.1. So good to see Arch back. Pretty sure. Actually, Arch is reserving tonight, isn't he, for AlphaTauri?
I
got
believe
mixed up
so,
with Argo
yes.
for a second. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we're just going to see these times tumble as obviously a lot of the guys are just going to wait for the soft tire runs. That's why we've only got 4 runs on the board. So just they're going to get an eye in. But as we said before, race should be dry. So probably no need to do a lot of practice on the green wall tire. But maybe just feeling a little bit of the conditions, making sure their setup is right. And because it is such a long lap, you need close to 5.5 minutes to 6 minutes to actually do one run. So you can push 3 runs here, but yeah, it's definitely obviously one of the tightest in terms of making sure that you do your one run, come back in and straight out. So there's no mucking around if you want all 3 runs.
Yeah, exactly right. There's definitely no double out laps to get the tyres into the right temperature around here to get 3 laps in. So we've just seen IRL Scotty in the Ferrari. He's actually didn't put a lap on around on the softs. He came back into the pits after that out lap. And Tetris has just gone with a 153.1, so second overall in the Alfa Romeo. And Tetris, he actually got his first podium in a long time last weekend, finished second overall. So shout out to Tetris. We know he was pretty happy with that result. And yeah, if it's definitely welcomed because he's worked really hard over the last couple of seasons, and yeah, he earned that one. So yeah, congratulations, and hopefully he can keep a run into Spa today.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, good to see him right up there. Just on board with switching between Deadly Fuller and Cuds, as we do have DRS now enabled, so that's your time that you want to put on the soft wall or the red wall soft compound tyre. So we should be looking to see a lot more of these guys out on track, but again, it's just going to be last minute across the line. Deadly Fuller and Cuds, I reckon they're going to be the first 2 to be able to set a relatively quick time, but I still reckon we're going to be a couple of seconds at least off what we thought we could be on with the dry compounds. So
Yep.
we'll have to wait and see. But and a little bit of a wiggle through Blanchimont from Deadly Fuller, so that's probably going to be one area you just got to be a little bit careful. Obviously, it's completely flat during the drive, but just a little bit careful being a little bit slippery still.
Yeah, and his teammate in the Haas, Wayne Morris, just went second overall with a 152.8 on the Inters tyres. So he's looking pretty good on the Inters. I'm pretty sure Wayne did mention before the race, before quali started, that he actually prefers the wet, and he backed himself into a podium. But it looks like it probably will dry. Looks like the clouds are parting a bit, and the racetrack actually looks like it's drying there. I'm on board with Wayne at the moment, and just coming down Puon, it does look pretty dry out there.
Yeah, it's looking a lot better than what it was about 3-4 minutes ago. So I want to follow Deadly Fuller, obviously P2 in the championship at the moment. He goes purple middle sector, first sector I should say, as he comes down towards Ravage of turn 8. And then he'll have the left-hander of no name, corner of no name, turn 9. So we'll see how he goes with the double left-hander of Puon, with just a little bit of a lift.
Sorry, Scott, he's got Wicked Vicky in front of him, who's reserving tonight on an out lap, so hopefully he doesn't get caught up there.
Exactly. A little bit of a slide through turn 12 and 13, so still hasn't got the grip, and it's just going to be confidence and nailing your lines through here. As didn't actually set a purple middle sector, surprisingly, on the set of softs, so Cuds might actually have that, as I will switch to him now as he comes through the bus stop chicane. So this should be our first...
Yeah, bit of a snap there from Cudsy, unfortunate.
Yeah, but he should go pole 48.3, so that's our first relatively competitive time, I should say, but it's going to get a lot quicker than that. Deadly Fuller... 47 flat, so last sector was definitely a lot nicer.
Yeah, pulls one out of the bag there, the Haas driver, and P1 overall, so he'll be feeling good about that one. Of course, we haven't seen Powers in the Williams yet in the soft tyres put in a lap. He's on an out lap at the moment, and Quick Killer is his teammate tonight reserving in the Williams, so good luck to Quick Killer for the first time here at Inters, and Wicked Vicky, like I said, in the AlphaTauri tonight.
Yeah, exactly right. As I think we got one of the Astons, the next one to come through. Just a few guys invalidating their lap, but Argo, he definitely goes quickest in the middle sector, showing purple on my screen. So it's pretty much flat out from this point on. He's only got really a couple of corners at the bus stop chicane left to go. But we should see how he goes, and I'm reckoning we should get the times down probably to about a 44, 45, I reckon. For the Tier 3 boys, it's just trying to get the pace, and we go 46 flat, so that's a more competitive time. So the grips can't come in there, and it's just going to be confidence with these guys.
Yeah, definitely right. Argo's going to be happy with that one. I think he may have missed last weekend. I'm not sure. He definitely didn't get any points.
And
but
thank you,
he had a good
Cake.
start of the year.
Yeah, exactly
Cake
right.
just goes 44.8, yeah, if you don't mind.
And
absolutely flying. And then Trenner with a 44 flat, so they're just falling off the board these times at the moment, Scotty.
Yeah, and as we can see, we got a little bit of sunshine on the track now too, so that's sort of going to help the track rubber in just a little bit. And I said 45, 44. Maybe I should have said 43s, because we're just about at that point, 44 flat for Trenner. But he's got two hungry Aston Martins right behind him.
Sorry, just saw Swiss Lord coming into the chicane of turns 19 and 20 there. And Swiss Boat, I like to call him, in the Mercedes. Just absolutely went over turn 19, all over that curve, the whole thing, and just about went around. But straight into pit lane there's for Swiss Lord.
Yeah, so he will have enough time, I think, to 3.5. He's got to push to come back out for his final run. As Mookie goes onto the front row, 44.8, but still a big gap until Gob fills that position, 44 point, what's that, 5 1,000ths behind the McLaren.
Wow.
So very, very close up front, so great job from Gob there. He'd like to start closer to the front around here, and as you said, he feels comfortable around here, so hopefully a good result from him, as I think a few of the guys just coming in for another set of softs, obviously being that it was wet for the first half. Not all drivers will have used all 3 sets, so all of them should have a spare set ready for the race.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Actually, they will. So it's a great time by Gobby. He'll be very happy with that. Bridgie and Trenner's just gone with a 1:42.8. So he's just absolutely blitzed it there. So you're right. That sunshine has really just picked up the track evolution, and the times are really getting quicker. So McLaren P1, P2 at the moment with just over 2.5 minutes to go here. It's me, Mookie. He's still on the front row for Alpine. So IRL ads will be happy with that.
Second row,
and the two Aston, second row, yep, and Aston Martin 5 and 6 at the moment. So both of those drivers with the TP Griddo, he'll be happy to see those drivers up there.
Yeah, exactly right. But I have a feeling that we're going to see quite a lot of movement. Batman coming through the last chicane now, so we'll see how he goes. Hasn't put a lap time. We've actually only 12 out of the 20 drivers got lap times in, but Batman goes into P2. 43.8, but still a second off. That's how well Bridgie's his lap was around here. He's got that big of a margin. Be interesting to see what these guys can do, but as you can see, we got not quite blue sky, but we've now got shadows covering the track, so we got bright sunshine.
We do. It's good to see the bright sunshine. Of course, yeah, we mentioned the McLaren drivers up in P1 and P3 at the moment. And overall, you've got to say the McLaren team is making a bit of a move at the moment. After 5 rounds, they're actually on P5 at the moment, up from P7, I believe, last weekend, or even P8. So they're definitely on the move. They had a good weekend. And, they're looking like they're going to continue that form on at the moment here with their cars well up in the top 5.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, they were P8 last week overall. So, yeah, they moved up 3 positions. Great results from the lot of them in Imola, so we'll see if they can continue their good form in Tier 3. They're definitely showing it. As we've got Parsville up into P7, just starting his final flying lap. So as you can see, a lot of the boys ready to go for the out lap. Deadly Fuller is 6/10 up coming through the first sector, so we might ride on board with the driver that is currently second in the championship. Yeah, so we'll follow him through, and obviously Powers, as Bridgie, after setting that lap, he didn't have enough time to come back out, so he will be crossing his fingers that he can hold pole position at the moment, as Deadly... I was going to say Deadly Fuller looked a lot more confident through Puon that time around, so definitely guys feeling a lot more confident in the grips there now, as Quiet Cake, he's done in the pits as well.
Yeah, I reckon Bridgie, he'll be having his fingers crossed, but he'll also be lighting a cigar after that lap in pit lane. No doubt about it. He'll be happy with that one.
Yeah, but not when he sees Deadly Fuller's 3.3 seconds up in the middle sector.
Oh, he's just choked on the cigar then. That's what he's done.
Yeah, obviously, he'll have some time in the final chicane. He's still got to find another couple of seconds to match Bridgie, but if anyone can do it, Deadly Fuller's going to be one of the guys that can. As he comes into the bus stop chicane, he can get it pulled up in time. Does he have a snap through the corner like last time? He doesn't, so he runs to the line. Can he get close? Not quite. He's 2/10 short, but he finds himself on the front row.
Great lap there from Deadly Fuller. Great third sector. He put it together. And Scotty actually goes second with a 1:43 flat. So right in front of Deadly Fuller. Absolutely nothing in it. There's two hundredths in that, if you don't mind. Wow.
Top four.
Very close. They're all coming home now. Parzival puts it up in the top 6, so just behind Batman there. So very close times. There's absolutely nothing separating a few drivers up there at the moment.
Yeah, Wayne Morris 14th. Can he join the party? Goes into P9. But there's going to be a lot of guys behind him. As I think it's going to be 2 Williams Quick Killer. He's getting blocked by an AlphaTauri, unfortunately, but the AlphaTauri is on a hot lap, so there won't be any issue there. The AlphaTauri goes Arch in P3. Quick Killer goes pole 42.4. And then Powers goes 42.7. So Williams just pinched the front row at the end. Wicked Vicky goes P3. So a couple of the reserves finding a good pace.
Unbelievable. You're dead right. And you hit the nail on the head, Scott. He was saying, the drivers that are going to leave this to the very end, because track evolution just played a massive role, you have to think. And the 2 Williams drivers just absolutely, they nailed that to perfection, P1 and P2. Congratulations. And Wicked Vicky, that's a great performance for the first time reserving here. That's P3 for AlphaTauri.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Is Quick Killer actually got a mega slipstream throughout the lap, apparently. So he did get held up a little bit in the bus stop, maybe a little bit, but he would have gotten a hell of a lot of time going through, obviously, Blanchimont, and then maybe further on along the track, because Arch obviously P3, so he wasn't slow at all. So, yeah, great job. As we see results, and yeah, Williams front row lockout. And because it's such a short run to the first corner here, I'd imagine we could see Williams 1-2 leading out of the first corner.
You'd have to think that. As long as Powers realises that the formation lap is still off, he should get away. He should get away quite well. And you'd think Quick Killer might let his teammate through. I'm not sure if they're having any communications with the drivers today in Williams, being that Quick Killer's a reserve, but hopefully he'll let the number 1 driver in Tier 3 through early, you'd say, Scotty?
Sorry, I was just checking my program a little bit. Sorry, what did you say?
I was just thinking, do you think Quick Killer, do you think he's going to let Powers through early? Do you think there'll be any discussion there before the race?
I'm not sure. Quick Killer might want to possibly prove himself, actually. So I don't know if it's going to be... I don't think Powers is going to have it all his own way, especially if he's possibly trying to get a full-time seat too. So he'll obviously, I think he'll be respectful to Powers, but I don't think it's going to be a simple we'll let through and then hold up the rest of the field. I think Powers is going to have to work for this victory.
Yeah, fair call. Let's just hope they stay out of each other's way, and it's a nice clean entry into La Source, and we get it. We get a bit of rhythm and no safety cars. Let's hope for that.
Yeah, exactly right. And sort of that's what we want to see. But again, obviously the longest lap in terms of kilometres on the F1 calendar, and obviously a couple of really long straights with a bit of DRS usage, especially going down the Kemmel Straight into turn 5. Yeah, if the Wombs can break out the front, it'd be good. But we do have 3, 4. We've got all 5 lights. So which Williams will lead us away as we are lights out as Wayne picks up a drive-through penalty. So he's jumped the start, and it was a good start from Quick Killer and Powers. Bridgie, yeah,
Archie.
both our Terry's coming together, but they're still facing the right direction. Bridgie trying to capitalise, but he sort of got blocked a little bit there. All cars have made it through turn 1, but we go up the hill for the first time. Over Rouge Radion. And we are all still straight. Quick Killer. But he's got Powers coming very, very quick. Down the inside. Will the Wombs battle? They managed to do it, but that sort of hurt Quick Killer as Wicked Vicky gets sorted, and we've had an incident. That's quite cake. So both Assens have had a bit of an issue. And
yeah, no, I didn't
think White Cake's bogged.
Archer's just tapped the back of Bridgie. Unfortunately, they've managed to keep it straight there, but Archie absolutely did the Oscar Piastri pinch into LaSource into turn 1. There was some... Yeah, he looks like he may have damage too, because he looks like he's struggling going down Poo-on there.
Yeah, exactly right. Obviously unfortunate for the guys. T. Simmons and Wayne at the back have got front wing damage as well, and White Cake may have as well, but we saw him get bogged, so he might have had a cheeky reset to track if he did get stuck, but unfortunately didn't catch that. But yeah, Powers, nice move down the front straight, but as we can sort of see, Quick Killer, he's definitely not going to let him go, and the Aftarian behind, they're doing a really good job as we go nearly side by side. Quick Killer wants this race, but he does go deep into the bus stop chicane. As Arch goes super wide, he's had an issue.
He sure has.
So how has he done that? So he's completely missed the bus stop. So not sure what happened there, but he picked up a 5-second penalty because of it, and Powers is down to P3 as well. So I think the Williams sort of battling themselves. That's allowed the Aftari to capitalise on at least one of them. And I have a feeling that Vicky is going to be super quick as they're nearly trying to get an overtake up the hill.
Yep, they're definitely battling hard. Looks like Scotty's actually up on the inside of Deadly Fuller, up in a P5 at the moment, down the Kemmel Straight. Have a look at Bridgie, actually. He backs out, he lets the McLaren go through, so nicely done there from the Ferrari driver, getting one move done, having a good look at the McLaren, but deciding to back out there and let him go through there. Yeah,
plenty of action in the top 3 as Arch picks up another 3-second time penalty. I think he's up to 8 seconds now, but yeah, Vicky takes P1, and they've already got a 7/10 gap, so if they can break another couple of tenths in this middle sector, they might be out of DRS range, which is what they would definitely want. And Bridgie, Bridgie not too far away from the top 3 as well.
Yeah, it looks like Arch might be driving a little bit... it looks like Mookie's having a little bit of trouble, actually, in the Alpine. He's cutting a little bit of grass there. Hopefully he can sort out those issues. But Arch is down 10 positions and getting caught up on the curb there, having a few issues. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage on that car, because he might have to pit. He's already got up to 8 seconds worth of pens here at the moment. We've got Ethimon up 8 positions. Trenner's up 5. Cuds is up 7, so they're the biggest movers at the moment, Scotty.
Exactly right. Cud's probably a little bit disappointed with that, sort of how his qualifying went, but up in a P11 now, so he's made some moves. Vicky has got the fastest lap, but again, it's going to be DRS, but again, it's going to be the 2 Williams that are, I don't know if they're, maybe we should probably just work together just a little bit, but we'll see the pace difference as we come through the Kemmel Straight for the first time with DRS. And it was about 5.5 tenths, and you can just see the Williams gaining. Will he go for a lunge? No, Powers is smarter than that. No point setting a lunge this early on in the race, but look how close the top 2 are. And they haven't dropped the other Williams or the McLaren. Deli Fuller's sort of just fallen the back off a little bit, so he'll be in a little bit of trouble with Scotty and Trenner right behind him.
Yeah, Fuller just got the move on Scotty down the Kemmel Straight. So the lap before, Scotty had the same move done. So those two are just exchanging positions at the moment. Trent is just looking back in P7, having a look at those two battle. Swiss Lord as well in P8. He's on the back at Trenner. And then we've got Tetris as well coming down Puon with a lot of speed in the Alfa Romeo. There was a little bit of controversy this morning, I've got to say, with the new team principal at Alfa Romeo, Timmy, league boss, actually throwing Tetris's name in for a trade possibility after Tetris finished P2 last weekend. So we'll see what happens to that. But I reckon Tetris would be a hot commodity if he became available for trading.
Oh yeah, exactly right. A driver that turns up pretty much nearly every week, and he's consistent. Might not have had the luck earlier on in the season, but as I said, you pull out a P2 at Imola. He's definitely someone that you do want on the team. So interesting choice from the new Alfa Romeo team captain as Deadly Fuller. Obviously got past Scotty that previous lap and sets the fastest lap, and he is just... No, he's just going to miss DRS. He's going to burn a little bit. No, he doesn't. So, but he's got nearly a second to Scotty, so I think he should be right. But we'll go back to the front as Powers again closing.
Tetris. Tetris
Powers
and Swiss Lord.
Powers
Sorry.
gets.
Oh,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, Powers the double overtake.
Wow.
He goes a little bit deep, but Vicky sort of had to get out of it, so Quick Killer couldn't quite capitalise. A little bit of a loose of the rear from Quick Killer, and that allows Bridgie to get right on the back. So again, Tetris obviously at the back, as you were sort of seeing, so plenty of action early on.
Oh, it's great, clean action. There's no doubt about it. These guys, fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing, making sure they're pulling the trigger at the correct times, giving their opponents all the chance of keeping it on track, and nice and clean out there so far. So credit to these reserves who have come in. They're really giving Powers a run for his money out there.
Yeah, exactly right. So Powers retakes the lead on lap 4. But again, it's going to be that DRS trainer, Deadly Fuller. He's caught the back of Bridgie as well. He's closed that 1 second gap. So watch him to start making his way possibly through this field. It's going to be a little bit of battery management between the guys.
Trenner. Oh, he's just gone into the back of Scotty. There's a bit of... Oh, dear.
Thankfully, they're all still facing the right way, but that could have been disastrous. But Trenner does get the move. I think Scotty might have just let that move go. I don't think he sort of wanted to get into a massive thing of power sets fastest lap. Obviously, with the help of DRS down the main, that back straight, as Gob picks up a 3 second time penalty. Archer's had another issue at the back. Oh, we've had a collision out of the final corner. So it might have been Arch and Argo that had contact. And we can see Argo at the back, just having to sort of straighten himself up. But back at the front, it's going to be Powers that is going to be in a little bit of trouble from the Alpha Tauri behind. And I think at that point, you might as well just give the position. But Powers is going to fight him back, though, as Gob has lost it up the hill, and we're going to have our first safety car. So he picked up a 3 second time penalty. We'll just see if Simmons, his teammate, can come up the hill.
Was it on Rouge, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. So...
Oh, that's unlucky.
Might have been might have been just that Radeon issue that I think we've always seen. So unfortunately, Gob, he was looking good, but unfortunately, that's our first retirement. And yeah, unfortunate for me because that's run one Red Bull down. So Gob, he was comfortable, but unfortunately, he takes no further part. We do have our first safety car, and do we see anybody potentially try and go onto the hards to get to the end of this race?
I mean, it's definitely a strategy. We'll see if anyone ducks into pits and pulls the trigger on that one because, we're going to go a couple of laps here under safety car, you'd imagine. So, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Speaking of comfortable, you've got to say Deadly Fuller. He was definitely looking comfortable a few laps in there. Definitely put a couple of seconds on there of Scotty and was chasing down Bridgie. And it was a great fight up the top there for the first 5 laps. Wicked Vicky, Powers and Quick Killer just going at it. And Aussie 2K Goat, the team principal of Williams, he would have been pretty nervous but pretty happy, of course, to see both drivers up there in the top 3 just going hammer and tong.
Yeah, exactly right. As we can see, not a lot of the top 10 have box. Swiss Lord, I think, is the first one. So he's going to potentially chance it, go onto a set of hards, and then maybe if there's another safety car, go onto another set of mediums. So sort of playing his strategy in, I think it was P11, P10, P11. So further down the pack, so he can afford to take a little bit of a risk as Archer's retired, and that is in pit lane. So he sort of had a bit of a mare, unfortunately, with the 8 seconds already penalties. So Colony's not early, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think what happened, I'm just speculating here, but just in the first couple of laps, it can be a bit overwhelming. I think he may have just missed his braking point coming into turn 19 and 20, the chicane, and that's where he picked up the 5-second penalty. That's just complete speculation, and then from there, you kind of think your race is over, and then picking up a 3-second penalty with 8 seconds to overcome, it's too much so early in, and Arch has decided to pack it in. So unfortunate there, Arch, mate. Keep your chin up. Hopefully we'll see you again next weekend. And that's it for the AlphaTauri driver. Unfortunately, he's gonna be in there with Gobby and having an early shower for the night.
Yeah, exactly right. And
not together, but you know what I
mean.
Yeah.
And obviously, Gob, unfortunate, obviously, as you said, someone's cleaned you up at the bus stop, and then obviously losing it up Eau Rouge. So all good. Obviously, yeah, you were feeling more comfortable at this track, unfortunately. So, but yeah, it's super unfortunate for you. So we'll come back bigger and better next week, which is Japan. So Japan's another little tricky track. So gonna be interesting to see how everybody goes there. But obviously we'll wait until next week to get to that. But 6 laps in, Vicky. They've been really competitive with the 2 Williams, and will lead the safety car away. Probably we'll go one more lap, and we should see the safety car in at the end of lap 7.
Yeah, correct. Yep. You did say, Japan next weekend. Land of the Rising Sun, of course. It's a technical track. I think coming into turn 1 always kind of catches out a few drivers if you don't get that braking point right. It can lose you a few tenths there, and I really do enjoy Japan, a fast technical track like that. It's a rare track, and then the week after, I'm pretty sure we're going to Qatar. Another fast track. It's a new one on the calendar. I actually really enjoy it. I can't wait to race around there. And then we're going to Britain. So another really fast track. It's a really enjoyable month for me, and I think it's going to be a great month of racing here at Inters for the next 4 rounds, including this one.
Exactly. So a little bit of variety. Silverstone's probably the one that's probably you're going to be running the least amount of downforce, surprisingly. But yeah, Qatar obviously very interesting. Obviously with how tight the sort of the first and second sector sort of are, but you can carry a lot of speed. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how overtaking does go around there, because I know a lot of guys are going to be running a lot of downforce. So it's going to be a new thing. Obviously, a lot of the guys would have tried it out, being a new track. So interesting to see how they go in terms of a 50% league format.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And then of course we've got Hell Month, where we've got some some of the most controversial tracks, you'd have to say, really, for league racing online on F1 23. That'd be the likes of Baku, Monaco. What are some of the other? Singapore, I think, is on there, and I think one of the new ones, Las Vegas. So some of those really difficult tracks, we've got them on there, and we're calling it the month of hell. So plenty to come in the next rounds, that's for sure. Yeah,
and pretty much no runoff, let's just say. So if you go wide, you're hitting a wall. So that's also another thing. But I don't know if we've mentioned the sneaky surprise that we're having at Baku, or if we're just going to wait for that. Changing up just a little bit in terms of what conditions we'll be racing under. So I think we might just wait. We'll wait and give that a bit of a surprise. But we do have the safety car in. So Vicky is going to lead us away from Powers, from Quick Killer, Bridgie and Deadly Fuller. That's your top 5. So it's all about the getaway. What are we thinking Vicky's going to go out of the bus stop, or go a little bit earlier?
I'd want to go out of the bus stop. Like you'd want to make sure that you got the car nice and straight before you put the foot down. I wouldn't want to go before the turn 19 and 20.
Just holding, and they're gone.
He has gone early.
So it went a little bit deep than probably we would have wanted, but he's going all right. Powers is sort of held him a little bit. But we're back underway. We've got an Alfa Romeo at the back. I think that was Tetris that's had a bit of a spin out of the final corner. And that's a risk with the cold tyres.
Well, that's PTSD for Tetris, isn't it? Of course, a few weeks ago he was leading the race in a safety lap and came around and spun it in the final turn. So PTSD there for Tetris. Hopefully he can put that in the back of his mind and get on with his racing.
You're exactly right. Powers is going to have to pick up the pace just a little bit because Vicky's nearly broken 1 second already, and as you can sort of see, Powers is on the button to try and close back in. Bridgie closing right up to Quick Killer. So Bridgie
Mookie's having a look. P13, sorry, on the inside of Parzival. He's got the medium tyres, but just hasn't got the speed to get the move done there, so lets the Ferrari go.
Yeah, and you can just see the medium's just warmed up a little bit, but that sort of compromised him, and Swiss Lord potentially setting the move as well. Again, Swiss Lord, obviously the first driver, but he's had a bit of an issue, and that Quiet Cake sends the move down the inside. It's going to be a little bit messy as T7's as well involved. We've somehow got away with all the drivers still facing the right way. But Quiet Cake gets the move done on Swiss Lord. T7's Argo on the soft compounder tyre, so he's going to be super quick trying to get through this field of cars. And then obviously Wayne having a tough start. He's served his drive-through, and he's at the back with no penalty on the medium compounder tyres as Puzzle picks up the first 3-second time penalty of the guy still running as Scotty...
Oh!
He has a bit of an issue.
Mate. Mookie's just come off a little bit. He's gotten to a little bit of the gravel there, and Quiet Cake's gone through again, so he's up another position, and Swiss Lord's gone through as well. He's on the back of Quiet Cake, so these guys are battling at the moment. Hopefully Mookie can just pull it together. He's got the car a little bit loose at the moment.
Exactly. Hopefully they can just sort of disorganise him. Oh, that's a bit of a slide off the curb for Swiss Lord, so manages to defend that nicely anyway and get the better drive out of the final corner. So he'll defend. Yeah. Obviously, still a lap to go before we see DRS.
Yeah, Swiss Lord's riding curb turn 19 like your sister's mother. He's really all over that one. He loves it, so he's got to be careful he doesn't turn himself around on that one.
Yeah, exactly right. As Ethibon up around the outside of Cuds, he just had a lot better traction going up Eau Rouge and out of Radion. It was only about a tenth, and easy move from Ethibon. Jumps into the top 9. So we'll see if he can close the gap to Scotty, who is right on the back of Batman. So I think Scotty had a bit of a lose, sort of where we saw Mookie possibly, as we got a yellow flag and Mookie's gone. I said his name and he's binned it, and there's got to be a second safety car. And now I'd imagine we'd see every single medium runner in the top 9 come in and box.
What was that? Yeah, I think it was around turn 9 there. Unfortunate there for Mookie. Just with those new mediums, he just couldn't keep it together. I know Tetris was saying before the race that the mediums were falling off, but I don't think they were falling off that quickly.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think turn 70 lost it. So coming through Malbody, I think, and we can easily see, we can easily see a few of the drivers maybe ride the outside curve, and potentially that's just set him completely right into the wall. Looked like that's where he lost it in the out of the track map. But jump back onto the leader because Vicky got the good jump, but we didn't go the 2 laps. But I'd imagine they'd be in. Both wombs have gone deep, so Quick Killer's got to be a little bit careful. Can't afford to hold up. Oh, and he runs into his teammate.
Will he have to change his wing? We're going to find out in just a moment. So, you're right.
He might be right. We'll have to wait and see, but he's going to get hurt big time because of this, yeah.
Oh, no. Let's have a look. 1, 2 cars, 3 cars. Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of positions here. It's unfortunate. He put in a lot of hard work to keep it up in the top 3.
And he's down
no damage.
P10. And the guys that have benefited from this were the guys that boxed under the first safety car. So Cuds takes the lead from Quiet Cake, Swiss Lord and T7. So that battle that we were watching on that opening lap restart, they're going to be battling for the lead now.
Cuds hasn't stopped though, unfortunately.
No,
He's still on
sorry.
those.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
right. Sorry, Kudja. So Quiet Cake is your effective race leader from Swiss Lord and
yeah.
T Simmons.
Yeah, and Quiet Cake, I tell you what, we saw him just a few laps ago. We saw he was following Swiss Lord and Mookie, and a few of those cars came unstuck, and Quiet Cake did not think twice, pulled the trigger, got those moves done. So now he's leading the race. So well done to him for yeah, just not really sitting on the fence. He saw an opportunity, he took it, and it's paid off nicely for him.
Yeah, exactly right. Quickilla didn't actually lose as many spots as I thought. He only lost 2 spots. He only lost to Bridgie and Delhi Fuller, so not completely out of it. He's still only a net P9, but again, top Quiet Cake, Swiss Lord, T Simmons a big benefactor. Wayne, it's going to be tight if he can get those mediums all the way to the end, so we'll have to wait and see how he goes. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if the hard compounds, which having a quick look at a little bit of sneaky data, about 15% roughly for the guys that in the top between second and fourth. So they've got a little bit of wear on them. It'll just be interesting to see if they can actually hold off
on.
these quick guys. And we know how quick Vicky, Powers, and Bridgie have definitely been.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, another kind of maybe interesting factor is the cars that are in front of Wicked Vicky, Wayne, T Simmons, Swiss Lord, Quiet Cake. They're not gonna want to let the reserve driver come through too easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's respect for every driver out there, but the last thing you want to do is let a reserve driver get in front of you and take those points away from you for the season total. You know?
Yeah, we know a couple of these boys up front. When they can sniff a victory, the elbows will be out. So they've got it. They won't give it up too easy. Cuds, unfortunately, he's in probably a difficult position because whenever he does make his pit stop, he sort of needs another safety car, but he needs the safety car sort of late, so more guys box for a fresh set of tyres. He's unfortunately. This might work out for him in the end. He's just in an unfortunate position that if we go green the rest of the race, he's losing 20 seconds, and I don't know if the tyre grip, even at the end, is going to be enough to sort of get him back up to this position, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
That's sort of...
It's a tough...
Sorry, go.
No, I was just going to say it's a tough position to be in. You're right.
Yeah, that's always the risk with going the alternate strategy, that you can be on the quicker tyre at the end, but if safety cars don't fall your way, unfortunately can sort of...
You're screwed.
Yeah. As I said, it might have been better for him to box for a set of mediums, but again, go mediums and then you're sort of still stuck with no grip at the end, so you may have to stop for a set of softs. But it's tough call.
It's 6 of the one, half dozen of the other. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And sometimes the F1 guides just, they take it out of your control, don't they?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, Battle Cat, yeah, exactly right. Ad's getting his strategy from Ferrari again. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Battle Cat, we need to stop condemning the team we love. I know it's true, but we need to talk our turn around about Ferrari, I reckon. Turn our talk around. Start projecting all this good stuff, and maybe we will turn into a good motor racing team one day.
Hopefully, but it just seems they haven't quite been able to do it. They've been better with strategy. Problem is they haven't got the pace, unfortunately, this season compared to a few other teams.
It breaks my heart, man. It really does. Like last season, I was like a kid in a candy store. Like, we were winning races, and if they put it together, we could have really won a championship. And to see them fall off the perch after last season, it's pretty heartbreaking. And you know what? The more data that they seem to acquire, the worse they seem to know what to do, which is just that's the biggest headache. So anyway, hopefully in the digital world, I can bring a bit more joy to all the Ferrari fans out there watching.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, you guys have been going good. You're third in the constructors, but we're back to green flag. A little bit of cloud cover at the moment, so shouldn't be getting any rain. But obviously that will just be a little bit... will change the tyre temps just a little bit. But Cuds, he's doing the complete opposite, and I'd imagine he's going out of the final corner, but I think he sort of has to with the tyre wear disadvantage that he's sort of going on, but he's gone out of the final corner. And we're back underway starting lap 12. We've got 11 laps to go for round 6 of Belgium for Tier 3. And he's had a move from Vicky already. Oh, and that's Powers going super deep. Somehow they missed each other, but Powers is now going to have to be a little bit careful because Bridgie would like to capitalise on that. But yeah, Vicky tried to go on Wayne Morris, but Powers, I think he just completely missed his braking point, to be honest.
Oh, look, I'm not sure how he wheeled it out on track, but Powers absolutely shot out of a cannon there. So lucky to just keep out of harm's way. Vicky made a move on Wayne.
Oh, does he pull it off? He hits the Mercedes in front. Oh, that's unlucky. He was sort of looking for the battle on the side, but unfortunately just did not pull it up in time, and that turns Swisslord around, and Swisslord will not be happy considering he was in a fantastic spot for some good points too.
Yeah, yep. Just got a bit ahead of himself there, Wicked Vicky, and just couldn't pull it up in time. So, yeah, just unfortunate, unlucky, but these things happen.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Vicky did pick up some wing damage from that, but I'm watching Wayne Morris is desperately trying to hold off Powers. And you can just see Powers has got more grip, more pace, and he's going to go around the outside, and he does get it. Wayne's going to find him, though. Oh, and that barely leaves him any room, and Powers is half-turned. He's lost a couple of positions. He's about to lose his position to his teammate. There's slight contact between the two, and that's going to allow Deadly Fuller around these two fighting, and that turns Deadly Fuller, and he loses his front wing. Hopefully he can avoid everybody else. He's going to run into the wall. Swisslord is going to avoid that. Oh. Just had to be a little bit careful. Quiet Cake's picked up a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And he's sliding around. T7's up into P3 and gets a better run out of the bus stop chicane. So possibly sending a move around the outside at turn 1. This has allowed Cuds to get away, but he still has to serve his pit stop. So T7 and Quiet Cake battling for the effective race lead. Vicky up into P4. Obviously, he'll be in a little bit of trouble for the contact at the end of the Kemmel Straight, but we'll see what pace he's got now behind the Aston Martin and the Red Bull.
No doubt, yep. Salmon's got the move done, going into the source there on Quiet Cake, who's had a pretty good restart since the safety car and Bridges picked up a 3-second time penalty. Quiet Cake actually got the move back there on the inside. Beautiful. Salmon's let him go there, and Vicky is just having a look on the gearbox of the Red Bull. Looks like he's actually going to have a rundown on the inside here. Salmons gives him room on the inside, and he says thank you very much. Takes that one, of course, with the much fresher tyres. He's got 4-lap fresher tyres there. So gets the move done. Bridgie, he's about 7/10 off the pace of the Red Bull, so Salmons should be quite comfortable for another couple of laps there, you'd imagine. Wayne Morris is in P7. He's on the 8-lap old mediums and seems to be holding that car fairly well, but Powers is right on the back of him again. We saw these two coming together just a lap ago, so will they get through here cleanly? We'll have to wait and see, Scotty. Let's find out.
Exactly right. Wayne lost 2 positions to Bridging Quick Killer on that previous half lap, so he's definitely not got the pace, but I think Quick Killer at the moment up front has had a bit of an issue. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Wayne's just got to be a little bit careful with the double movement, and Powers around the outside. Does Wayne stick the nose up? No, so Powers gets up into P7 behind his teammate. Does Wayne try and find him into the bus stop? No, he doesn't. So Powers P7, and he's got his teammate DRS now enabled. And we're just seeing a couple of little penalties, Bridgie and Quiet Cake. And Vicky does get the move done. So effective race leader goes to the AlphaTauri. Argos sets fastest lap 46.2. So I'd imagine Cuds is not going to have as much grip, and Vicky might be close enough. We'll have to wait and see. DRS on the AlphaTauri. Got to watch T7s as well.
Yeah, through all that fighting, Cuds was just hoping to break that DRS zone of the cars behind him in P2, but he didn't get quite a big enough gap. We saw Salmons, he was pushing on Quiet Cake. What are you seeing there, Scotty?
Oh, I was just about to see Bridgie. Possibly
Bridgie.
A little bit of lag, but he sends the move down the inside of T7s. We nearly saw Bridgie run into the back of T7s at the end of the Kemmel Straight at turn 5, but thankfully just avoided the Red Bull. So Bridgie up into P4. So he's got Quiet Cake next, but you can just see Vicky was about a 10.5, but Cuds had a better exit out of pull on. But you can just see the pace the AlphaTauri does have, and you can see 9-lap-old younger 9 lap younger hard tyres compared to the Alpine in front. So it's just going to be a matter of time between these two.
Yeah, no doubt. We saw Salmons there. He did give way to the McLaren Bridgie, who was pushing very hard. And you've got to say, Salmons, it looks like he's evolved a little bit. He's giving way to a few drivers and keeping it clean, not keeping his nose dirty and getting himself in trouble and just giving himself every chance. But Powers is really pushing that Red Bull at the moment, coming into turn 19 and 20. Will he have a look up on the inside? He will get as close as he can with his teammate, who's come all the way up the back. And joining the party, Wayne and Trenner actually going side by side at the moment as well out of turn 20. And Trenner looks like he got the move done there. So Wayne having a little bit of struggle on those 10-lap old mediums.
Oh, and Cuds has gone a bit wide, and that's sort of affected this bunch. White Cake and Bridgie's got the overtake. So this may be messy going through Eau Rouge, and Cuds is going to be the one with the less grip. Do we all see all 4 cars going the right way? We do. It's going to be a matter of who sorts themselves out, who get DRS. I think White Cake's going to be one that gets really affected as we nearly go 3 wide.
Here comes Powers.
As it gives me the shit camera angle around the corner, we are still facing all this contact between Quiet and Powers.
Was Vicky a little bit of contact there with Cake, I think. The two Williams have come to the party as well here. So, and Simmons as well getting involved. So there's 7 cars here, all fighting it out for the lead. This is tremendous racing. You've got to say 15 and a half laps in here. So Bridgie in P2 on the back of Cuds in the Alpine P1, holding on at the moment with those 14-lap-old hards. Bridgie's got the 3-second time penalty, as does Quiet Cake. Wicked Vicky doing very well. He's got the pace at the moment in P3, just waiting for these drivers in front of him to kind of sort it out and make the opportunity to get the pass done, because he looks like he's got the quicker car at the moment, Scotty.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. It's Powers and Quick Killer nearly going side by side, and one Williams going wide.
Bridgie!
Cud's losing a couple of spots, so Bridgie takes the lead. So we'll see if he can hold on, but Cuds is not going to let this go. He's right behind the AlphaTauri. Does the AlphaTauri send the move down at the bus stop? Oh, a little bit of movement. He's going to send the move down. Bridgie takes the outside line. He'll get the inside for the next part of the corner. Gives him just enough room. Vicky running all 4 wheels over the white line. So Bridgie will lead at the start of lap 16, but imagine Cuds goes for a move down the inside. Manages to just keep the car, but you can just see all this battling has got the top 15.
Yep, and Quick Killer, he got the move done on Quiet Cake and Powers, went from P6 up into P4 into La Source, so Quiet Cake P5. Powers he's got the pace, but he just can't seem to get any of these overtakes done here because the cars are just battling in front of him, and he doesn't want to jeopardise his car too much, because any points will do for the team, for the Tier 3 Championship leader at the moment. Who was it? Deadly Fuller's down in P17, so Powers, if you can just keep it on the road here and try and finish somewhere in the top 5, he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll see what these guys can do. I think Cuds is really struggling on his hards because he's now out of DRS from the 2 in front, and Quick Killer will want to try and get this move done as soon as possible, carrying a lot more speed through Puon. He's not quite going to be able to get the move done down at turn 12. He has a little bit of a snap, and we've got Trenner. Yeah, we've got Trenner and Powers, and we've lost somebody at the back. I think that's one of the Alfa Romeos, and Powers sends the move down the inside. And both of them have an issue, and that's unfortunately...
Oh, that's Scotty as well, I think. Parzival, yeah, Scotty's been caught up in Trenner. Yep, they're both just locked up wheels at the moment in the gravel, so it looks like those two are going to be
and we have a virtual safety car, and thankfully... we've got the guys sorted themselves out, but yeah, Powers sending the lunge down at turn 14, I believe that corner is. Yeah, turn 14, and they've sort of had side contact, and they've both lost it, and unfortunately, Trennis tried to save it, but unfortunately he saved it to the left and come back right in the middle, and Scotty has had absolutely nowhere to go, and both of them found in the gravel. Yeah. And quite a few have picked up 5-second time penalties. Cuds has gone onto the soft tyre. Yeah, Cuds has gone onto the soft tyre, so he's not going to lose as much time under this virtual safety car, but he's only got 5 laps. Maybe with how hard the guys are battling up the front, he may close up into the back of this train, but he's going to have a lot of work to do in the little bit of time that we've got left. As we've got DRS now back enabled as we go back green flag racing. No one picked up a drive-through, which is good to see. Vicky leads Bridgie by 8/10 of a second. Quick Killer in P3, Quiet Cake in P4, T7's in P5. Powers with that little bit of an incident as Scotty has been retired. Yeah, so unfortunately with that collision and picking up 2 5-second time penalties, he's calling it a day unfortunately, but he was looking strong. But unfortunately, innocent bystander there as Parzival. He's had a spin at the back. Or I say at the back, but in P10, so he's going to have to safely rejoin, which he does. But he's going to have to come in for a brand new front wing.
Yep, that's a spell of bad luck for the Ferrari drivers there, no doubt about it. And we saw, Powers send that move down the inside. It caught out, I'm pretty sure it was the McLaren driver of Trenner. And I think, Scotty got caught up there. And in that virtual safety car, those drivers, it looked like they were just really caught up with the Delta. None of them could pass one another, and they all got time penalties. It was absolute just carnage down there for those guys. So really unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. We'll get up on with the racing, and Powers is up in P6 at the moment. I'm on board with him at the moment. He's looking at the back of T. Simmons, your driver at the moment in the Red Bull, coming into turn 19 and 20. Looks like he's going to line this one up to get the switch back. Gets up on the inside, on the outside, and looks like he gets that move done. He does. Simmons is on a bit old tyres there compared to the Williams driver there, Scotty.
Exactly right. Tetris had a spin at the back at turn 14, so he's probably got a bit of front wing damage, which he does. But we're going to have a look at this battle for P6. Have to keep an eye on out the front because Bridgie's only 3/10 away from the front. I might switch to that battle quickly. Does he decides to back out of it? So what about Powers? Powers is down the inside and going to get the job done. So Powers in P5, so we'll see if he can close up. He's got 3 seconds to Quiet Cake in front of him, but still a big pack between T7 and Wayne Morris is still out on those 13 lap old medium tyres. What are they on? They'd be pretty poor. 47% his tyre wear. So yeah, they're cooked, but they should be able to get home from here. As Tetris
they should.
Up 3 second time penalty.
Yeah, no, Wayne Morris is defending very hard up on Rouge. Batman actually had a really nice run going down the Camel Straight, and Wayne just absolutely boxed him out. Couldn't get the move done, and Wayne's doing very well holding on there for P7.
Yeah, exactly right. But quickly switching back to the top 3. Remember, Vicky might be in a bit of trouble for contact with Swiss Lord. Bridgie with the time penalty as we bring them up now. 3 second time penalty for Bridgie. So Quick Killer might be in the box seat for a victory here after possible stewards inquiries. But great job as Bridgie sends the move completely down the inside, but completely went deep. So these two are going to have a poor run out of the final corner, and that Quick Killer's just going to save his battery just a little bit. But these two up front are really battling Bridgie down the inside again. Vicky's going to take a wider line, try and get better traction out of the final corner, or out of the first corner, I should say. And Vicky should be the one to get DRS as we come up Eau Rouge and Radion for the 19th time.
Yeah, it's a battle of 4 cars here as we come up Eau Rouge. And it looks like Quick Killer had a bit of a snap going up there, so it's opened the door for Quiet Cake and the Aston Martin on the outside. But it looks like Bridgie, lets Wicked Vicky go through there, so he's going to go into P1 there, just following through. Quick Cake P3, Quiet Cake stays into P4. Powers is about 3 seconds behind here, so it is a battle of these 4 cars for P1 with about 3.5 laps to go, you'd say.
You say that, but as soon as these 4 really start to battle, Powers has made half a second just in the last 3 corners, so he's got a lot of pace. He lost obviously time with DRS down the straights as Quiet picks up another 3 second time penalty, so he's up to 6, so that's pretty much his podium gone.
It is. I'm actually on board with Cuds at the moment, who looks like he's in P9 and he's dropped into the DRS zone very quickly of Batman at the moment, and there's a train of cars in front of him. He's on the soft tyres and absolutely flying his cards. You saw him on those hard tyres, making the absolute best use of those, holding on, battling in the top 3 there, so he did a great job, and he's flying on those softs, Scotty.
Yeah, exactly right. As Bridgie's, this is going to get close up the front, around Blanchimont. They're going too wide there. Do they sort themselves out at the bus stop? No ridiculous dive bombs this time round. But Powers is 1.2 behind. So he's closed up 2 seconds, and we've got Wayne and Argo. No, Wayne and Batman that have had a collision. And by looking at Batman giving that position up, he might have been the cause, potentially, not sure, but battle for the lead. Powers is going to be within DRS because, again, Bridgie and Vicky fighting through turn 1. And it's got to be Quick Killer who's got the better line up the hill. So imagine with DRS, we could see 3 wide. Vicky and Quick Killer get past Bridgie. Does Quick Killer send it move down the inside? No, he doesn't. So Quick Killer up into P2, Bridgie still P3, Quiet Cake still hanging in there, and Powers 1.4, but again, it's not going to be the DRS straight that he catches as Quiet Cake. Does he... Oh, he sticks the nose up the inside, but not quite, but that's wide from Quick Killer. Oh, and that's a...
Oh, that's Quick Killer. He's around.
Yeah, I saw him super wide, and unfortunately, he's binned it. He's kept going, but he's out of the contention for the podium now. Powers and Cuds is up into P5.
Cuds is flying.
He's got 2.5 laps, and with these guys up front still battling, he might have lucked out with the virtual safety car, and we might see him on the podium. If not, if things go his way, he might pick up the victory here.
Yeah, he's definitely in contention for the victory, Cuds. There's no doubt about it. If he can just keep this car within the track limits, no penalties, and just keep the foot to the floor, keeping it nice and clean, he'll definitely be battling, because the cars in front of him, as we've seen, they're just they're taking time off each other, battling really hard. As we have a look at Quiet Cake, he's got the 6 seconds worth of penalties, but he's going to be battling on track here for a podium finish anyway. He won't finish up with one, but he'll be pushing all the way to the end, no doubt about it. Cudsy's about 2.5 seconds behind at the moment, so let's see if he can. He needs about 1.5 seconds off this lap, Scotty.
Yeah, exactly right. Bridgie desperately trying to stay within 1 second of Vicky in front. He won't be able to go for a move at the end of the Kemmel Straight, but he should still get DRS as Wayne and Batman in the background make a position swap down at turn 1. So Bridgie will get DRS, but he's got absolutely no battery. You can see the whole lot of them flashing. They've all got no battery with 2 laps left to go. And just Quiet Cake, not quite close enough. Powers is 0.5 second behind, so Powers, he's definitely in the chance. Batman.
Quick Killer! He's just turned Argo. Sorry.
They just managed, but then Argo and who was that? Swiss Lord has contact. No, Batman has had contact with Wayne, so we got a bit of a mess down at turn 6 and 7.
Yeah, very ugly.
So they've sorted themselves out now. Yellow flag, just those guys trying to sort themselves out. But back to this lead pack. Cuds is only 2 seconds behind. He'll jump Quiet Cake, and he may just jump Bridgie. But again, Vicky and possibly Powers might come under. Big slide from Cuds through 13. He's just trying to push that car, push those softs as much as he can. As we've got just over a lap left to go. Vicky... they had about 9/10 of a gap, but it's now down to 3. So does Bridgie send the move down, or does he wait for DRS down the back straight, or the Kemmel Straight, I should say?
He has a bit of a... Yep, has a look. He's not going to... No, he's going to wait. He's going to wait down the Kemmel Straight, you're right. So if Bridgie can line this up... Oh, he thought that was it, did he? I think Vicky thought that was it. He started swerving like he was going across the finish line.
We have sort of seen him swerve throughout this race, so not quite sure. Problem is, Bridgie's within 4/10, but he does have a lot of batteries as Vicky that he can use, and he's going to be on the button. And Bridgie's got absolutely nothing. You can see the red 0, and you can just see Vicky manage that quite nicely. As Powers and Quiet Cake, Powers down the inside, gets the job done, moves up into P3. And Quiet Cake, does he potentially fight Argo? He's retired in the pit lane. Unfortunately, with 1 lap left to go, he would have scored a couple of points if he kept going. So, yeah, not sure the Aston Martin TP will be real happy with that. Could have scored himself a point, but all 15 runners still going will score points. As we are on
unfortunate. Yeah, I feel for Argo there. Got turned there late, and he was in about P9, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, as you said, should have probably just kept going, picked up a few points. So as we come into the last couple of corners, Scotty, Wicked Vicky looks like he might get this job done, because Bridgie's got a 3 second time penalty, and Powers in P3 looks like he's going to finish on the podium.
Exactly, Vicky's not going to die. Bridgie's not going to die wondering. Problem is, he doesn't have any battery, so Vicky actually managed their battery really well for this last lap, and he can just absolutely juice 60%. As
Oh,
Parzival,
Parsifal's DNF'd.
no, so it's going to be a double DNF for Ferrari, so unfortunate for you, but it's going to be Vicky coming around the bus stop chicane for the final time. And he gets to the run to the line, and Vicky will win round 6 at Belgium. Bridgie picks up P2 at the moment, but drops back, powers into P2. Bridgie in P3. Cuds, great effort from him on the sauce. They sort of just died on that last lap, but finishes P4. Great job from the Alpine driver. Quiet Cake finishes P5 with those 6 seconds worth of penalties. T. Simmons, great effort from him. He kept it clean and finishes P6. Wayne, from a tough start, he manages to finish P7. Quick Killer, unfortunate with the contact. Unfortunately, he's not quite where he would have wanted. Batman finishing P9. Ethimon P10. Swiss Lord 11th. Trenner 12th. Deadly Fuller will cross the line in P... Actually, jumps Trenner, so P12 for Deadly Fuller. But that's more points lost to the Williams driver. And then Tetris, he'll be the last one across the line. He picks up a couple of points, but struggled in that last little bit of the race, but he kept it on the road when others didn't. But as we take a bit of a breather, AlphaTauri picks up the victory, but again, from what we saw, that may only be temporary.
Yes, yeah, a little bit of controversy, so it'll all come out in the wash, as they say. But yep, we'll get those the podium places in here for a interview. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Vicky is part of this. Let me see if I can add him, Scotty. Actually, let me just make sure here.
That's right. Well, while you're doing that, we're going to watch him celebrate with the trophy on the top step, regardless if he has to go see the stewards. That was a fantastic drive from him. Definitely went aggressive, made some nice moves. Had a brilliant battle with him and Bridgie, but he just got it. And with Bridgie with the 3 seconds, it was always going to be tough. But results on screen, Wicked Vicky does pick up the race win at the moment. Powers, championship leader, picks up another podium. First time he's on the podium, not on the top step. Bridgie, great job from the McLaren driver in P3. Cuds, we sort of thought his race was sort of screwed a little bit, being on the alternate strategy, but he picks up P4 plus fastest lap, so that's another bonus point for Alpine. Quiet Cake sort of hurt with the 6 seconds at the end. T. Simmons, good to see the Red Bull up there. Wayne in P7, great job from the Haas driver. Quick Killer, great race. Unfortunately, just had an incident in the middle part of that race that dropped him down. Batman in P9, Ethimon P10. Swiss Lord, Deadly Fuller, Trenner, and Tetris were our final race finisher. And then, unfortunately, you see those DNFs: Parzival, Argo, Scotty, Mookie, Arch, and Gob. We lost really early. So 6 retirements, but that was a fantastic race to watch as we sort of get our breath back a little bit while we get these guys in the interview room.
Definitely time to get our breath back. Plenty of good racing up there. Lots of good battles up the front. We saw the 2 Williams guys going head to head with, Williams. I thought Cards had an outstanding race. Unlucky not to podium. I thought Parzival and the Ferrari on the last lap to DNF, I think on those softs, he was pushing for the fastest lap to try and maybe take it off whoever was in the top 10 with that. So unfortunate for him. Gobby, as you said, an early DNF there for the Red Bull driver, so unfortunate. We do have Bridgie in here. He did pick up a 3-second time penalty, the McLaren driver, so he did finish with a P3 overall. Bridgie,
how you going, boys?
Mate, pretty good, man. Look, that was pretty outstanding racing for the most part. We saw some pretty bold moves there, and a few track limits came into play there at the end. Overall, you'd have to be pretty happy with that race, mate. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I was very happy with that race. I was probably my favourite race of the year so far in every league I've done. And my pace was it was just super there tonight, surprisingly, considering it was probably one of my worst tracks. I don't like that track very much. But yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, mate, that's what you want. I guess the setup you must have been feeling the setup, because when you're actually comfortable in your car, I think that's when you're fast.
Yeah, that
Did you
setup
find
was
you had a
really
good
good.
setup? Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I asked my TP from McLaren earlier, they any good setups, and he said test this one out and see how you go, and I loved it as soon as I tried it.
Yeah, beautiful. So that would be that'd be Dunno, wouldn't it? That'd be Mercy, your
Yeah.
TP, giving you. Yeah, look, I've been known to pinch a few setups off Mercy. Don't tell him.
Because I
But
messaged one of the boys that I know, like one of the tier two, tier one drivers that I know, asking them what's their best time around this track, and he said a 140, 142.4, and I was only 3 temps off, and he was a tier one driver,
okay,
so I
all
was
right.
happy with my lap.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, Bridgie, at the moment, you're sitting P4 overall in the T3 standings with 53 points. You're about 50, 60 points off P1 at the moment, Powers.
Yeah, I'm not
But
getting him anytime soon, but I'll be happy with the top three.
yeah, mate. Well, yeah, I was going to say you got some pretty good form at the moment, so keep pushing. You never know what happens, and yeah, congratulations on your podium tonight. Anything you want to add, Scotty, before we move on?
Probably coming down to the bus stop chicane that second last lap. We sort of thought that you might have gone for a move, but you thought
No,
maybe.
I just I misjudged my braking point bad, and I lost a fair bit of time.
Yep, because we thought you might have waited till the last lap for DRS, but then when we saw the battery between both of you, we thought, yeah, sort of no chance you're going to unfortunately get past. But great battle between you and Vicky.
Yeah,
Obviously,
he's really. I knew I was pacey when I was keeping up with him and Quick Killer for the whole race, because Quick Killer got a really quick time qualifying lap, and Vicky went straight through the field when he started the race. So I knew I had some pace when I was keeping up with them too.
Exactly. Well, did see a couple of moves, I think, at either bus stop or turn one that you probably went fairly deep, so probably not
Yeah.
as late as what you wanted. But hey, it was a great battle to watch between you two, and obviously you find yourself on the podium with possible stewards' inquiries to come that you may find yourself up just a little bit higher as well. But yeah, big
That was
congrats
great.
on tonight's racing anyway.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, good on you, Bridgie.
Powers. Yeah, P2 for Powers. Bit more of an interesting race from you. Obviously a little bit of contact a couple of times, but yeah, you're still managing to find yourself on the podium. Look quick, but definitely some more opposition for you this week.
Yeah, 100%. But wasn't the greatest race that I've had all season. Started off pretty well, and then had a little collision in with Wayne, who spun me. That kind of slightly spun me. I saved the car a bit. From there, just I don't know what happened from there. It wasn't my race. Then top four started battling, so I was able to pull on Bridgie and Cake and get them. I had a little incident with Trainer, which I've got to go back and look at, because I feel like we were side by side going into that kind of wheel to wheel going into the corner. So got to have a look back at that and see what the go was there, and then go from there with that one. But overall, P2, I'll take it. Good for the championship, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely good for the championship as well, with Deadly Fuller looking like he didn't get a hell of a lot of points tonight. And I've got to say, Powers, like, for you, I think after the safety car, I mean, before the safety car, battling with your teammate up in the front, it was great to watch, man. But after the safety car, I think for you, it was more about just keeping your nose clean and just trying to secure as many points as you could. Because, as you said, those four cars in front of you, like, they were battling like super hard, and you got caught up there as well. And I think it was just, leading the championship, all about just keeping it on track and pulling as many points as you could. So to make your way through the field and P2 to get overall, we'll find out what happens with all the incident reports. But yeah, mate, you got to be pretty happy, and congratulations on your result tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
All right, so we did send Vicky an invite, so if you can hear us.
Wicked Vicky, yep, come into the comms box, bro. We'll have a talk to the champion,
Yeah,
the
exactly
race
right.
winner.
Yeah, but he looked really good. I'll just quickly tag him. But what do we think of that race? As I said, action packed and a lot of good side by side action. Obviously, a little bit of contact a couple of times, but I think overall,
Yeah.
a fantastic way to get the round off and underway.
I think so. Belgium, it's not the easiest track to race, especially with this new F1 23. I think the braking's a little bit more difficult. Oh, look, overall, I thought the guys handled themselves pretty well. Of course, there's always going to be a few incidents. We had a few reserves in tonight, so a few guys just getting used to a few new driving styles out there as well. I think there were a couple of incidents that could have been handled a little bit better. But yeah, this is tier 3, and you've got to expect a few incidents. And I'm sure there's a few unhappy drivers out there, but it can't be all roses and rainbows. That's the polarity you find in everything, and there's winners and losers. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting as Wayne's joined. Can I get you to just turn your volume down just a little bit, Wayne?
Oh yeah, cool. Sorry, I forgot about that. Like listening to you guys call the race.
Yeah, you had a good race yourself. I think P7, obviously, you were sort of stuck on the wrong strategy, having it boxed early on, but got those mediums to the end, and another good top 10 for you.
Yeah, it was a good finish. Dreadful start, and I just looked. My double clutch system is set on 0, so when I let go of one clutch, it took off, which doesn't normally happen. So it's normally got a clutch bite, and just takes off when I let go of the second one, but. And then I think someone, I won't say on air, someone collected me on I think it was turn 5 after Eau Rouge and that long straight. So just going into that first chicane there after that long straight, I got collected and had wing damage. So then pitted for a wing on lap 2, and then done a drive-through on lap 3, and then I think I pitted on was it a lap 6 safety car for the mediums? I went to the end.
Yeah, you did some pretty solid defending. Sorry, Scotty. You go.
You're right.
Pretty solid defending on those mediums. I saw there, Wayne. It was good. You did well, and it was P14 you qualified. So to get up to P7, I thought it was a pretty outstanding drive.
Yeah, it was looking good there for P4 at one stage, but I got spun around going into the bus stop. So would have been because that was just when Quiet Cake picked up the penalty. So I was on for a P4 there, and then I got spun around, was put back to P9, and then back to P7. So a race of regaining.
Yeah, Scotty, did you see an incident there with Batman and Wayne? Turn 20, I think it was, maybe?
Turn 19, last corner. I think I might have mentioned it a little bit, but yeah, can't quite remember the amount that sort of happened in that race, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of incidents in that race, but yeah, it did. He came from a long way back. I don't know.
Okay.
But we'll have a look at it. I know it's people miss braking points, or I found sometimes I'm pushing the brake too hard too often, right? And if you go 80% on the brake instead of 100%, you stop quicker.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so I seem to be locking up, and you go, and then you run deep, right? But if you go 100% and then back to 80%, you'll stop a lot quicker.
Okay, I appreciate the tip. I'll be trying that one out.
Yeah, so you sort of need to with both your Ferrari Tier 3 drivers not finishing, so you'll have to hopefully have a little bit of luck. But,
I'll need it. Thanks, Scotty.
Yeah. But Wayne,
so how is the overall looking this week? The Haas boys are up there, eh? What's going on? I've never been involved in a championship run before.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're actually on 315 points. You've got 14 points on Williams at the moment in P2, and then Ferrari in P3, 276 points, and Aston on 269 points in P4. So just 45 points separating the top 4 teams in the overall standings. And you're right, Haas, number 1 at the moment, TP Gordo, sitting there looking very happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly right. But Wayne, good race from you. Another good solid race from you. Good points for Haas as well. So big congrats, and we'll see you next week in Japan.
Cheers, boys. Bros, if you might remember from last year, I love Japan. Japan's my favourite track. I love that.
remember, bro. I do.
I love that technical stuff, but I'm looking to rectify that safety car restart from last year, which we won't talk about too much because I'll get upset if we do. But
That's right, mate. That's right. No PTSD from Japan last year. We'll turn it into a podium, mate. Good luck for next week.
Cheers, man. Take it easy.
And that will just about do it, Vicky. Unfortunately, Vicky can't quite join us, but again, big congrats on their race. Obviously, we'll see what happens with the stewards, but they crossed the line P1. Broseph, pleasure joining you in the box on a Friday night.
Oh, thanks for having me, Scotty. Always good to be joined with you in the Sky Race Control to do it with one of the best callers around. So thanks a lot, mate.
No, thank you, and thank everyone for watching. Obviously, Saturday afternoon racing for Tier 2. Broseph, obviously you'll be in the seat, and I'll be in the comm box once again. So, how are you feeling for tomorrow?
Yeah, pretty confident. I did a few laps before, and before I jumped in the Sky Race Control, and we actually had training on last night, and yeah, the boys are looking pretty quick. So Marty B leading the Tier 2 Championship at the moment in the Prancing Horse. So I'll be backing up the number 1 Ferrari driver tomorrow. So yeah, appreciate you being on the call tomorrow, Scotty.
Yeah, no problem at all. So we'll wait to have your company tomorrow afternoon from 5 p.m. For Tier 2 Round 6 at Belgium for Inters Racing League. So he's been Broseph, I've been Scotty, and we'll catch you tomorrow afternoon for Tier 2. See you later.
Peace.